Hi folks and friends on YouTube. Thanks for being here. I'm Still Dreaming is my channel. And in this video, I thought I would just talk about something that happened yesterday and it made me really sad. It has to do with my neighbor. So the fence here that we're looking at is the fence slash property line between me and my neighbor Gabby. And Gabby has been living here in her house since, God, I think she told me 1967, I think. We've been living in our house here since 2000. But Gabby and I have been next door neighbors since 2000, so 24 years. Now, granted, the first 10 years or so of being neighbors, you know, we weren't all that neighborly. I mean, we would say hello to each other, but beyond that, not so much. So anyway, the years go by and we slowly became friends. And so now, you know, we're friends now. We've been friends, and her and I can relate because she has a troubled daughter and I have a troubled son. And anyway, what ended up happening was, okay, so going over this direction, okay, you see this tree up here? Well, this tree was cascading. The branches were cascading over the fence and practically touching the ground there. So 2 days ago, I asked my son to go ahead and prune the tree for me so that we could. It's a great tree because it gives off a lot of shade. Now it's kind of, it ended up kind of getting cloudy. The marine layer rolled in somewhat, so it's not sunny out here right now. But when it is sunny, this tree here gives us a lot of shade. And but we weren't able to sit under the tree because the branches of the tree had gotten so long and overgrown and hanging over, almost touching the ground. So anyway, so my son went ahead and pruned the tree. Like you can see where he cut here, and right here you see the branches cut there, and then, well, right here he had to cut a big branch, and then over here too. So this tree, and even some over here, because the tree was hanging over so much. See, so you can see all the overhangs. So anyway, so he did that for me, and then yesterday I was in my room and I happened to glance out my window and I saw that the bougainvillea was moving, like the branches were moving, and I thought, oh, there must be some birds in there. So I stopped and was just looking at it through the window, and then I saw my neighbor Gabby. I saw her arm, how she was reaching over and pulling the branches of the bougainvillea, which the tree itself is on her side, but the branches of the bougainvillea were growing over the fence and cascading over onto my side of the fence, which I loved it so much because it's the only color that I have here in my backyard. So I always loved the bougainvillea. And then the thing is, like it was about a year ago, maybe even more than a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. One time her and I were talking in the front because we had both gone to check the mailbox, and her and I, our mailboxes are right next to each other. So we got to talking, and then she likes gardening too, and so we got on the subject of gardening and plants and trees and flowers, and And then I had mentioned to her that the time before when because she's done this one time before, so this is only the second time that she has done this. But the first time it happened, where she cut all the bougainvillea down. Now, mind you, I understand it's not my shrub, it's her shrub. I get that. But I loved it because it cascaded over to my side, and it was, like I said, just the only little bit of color I had here in my backyard. So so when we were talking that one day by the mailboxes, I told her that I noticed, when she needed to prune her I hope I'm saying it right, bougainvillea, and I told her that I was sad that day because she cut so much of it, and I didn't have it to look at anymore. And she actually like felt for me, and she made kind of like a look of, oh, I'm sorry, and she kind of just gently gently tapped me on my shoulder and told me, oh, I'm sorry, Rebecca, I didn't think of that, so okay, so she knew that I liked the bougainvillea, the bougainvillea. Sorry, you guys. For the longest time I was calling it bougainvillea, and then finally Robert, my husband, got tired of hearing me say it wrong, so he corrected me, and we looked it up online, and sure enough, I was saying it wrong. It's bougainvillea. Okay, so back to the story. So, like I said, so yesterday I'm watching her through my window, and she hacked all of the bougainvillea except for this one little branch that's hanging. Now, it used to hang over from, well, you see all the dried up flowers so this is how far, see how far it comes all the way to this side. So that's how far, that's how much of it was hanging over the fence. So it's all gone now except for this little branch that she overlooked. This one branch, she missed it. She finally gave up on that. So here's the thing. I hate to say it, but I kind of feel like she did it out of spite. I kind of feel like I offended her when we cut the branches to this tree that's on her side. And I feel like that upset her, and then to get back at me, she did this yesterday. And then, okay, so I was upset. I was actually even a little emotional. I went outside to talk to my son. He could see something was upsetting me, and he asked me what's wrong, and I told him. And my son, true to form, he isn't always the most sensitive, person, and he told me, Mom, aren't you making a little bit too much out of it? And it's her tree, she can do it. Anyway, so I said, okay, all right. And then I said, maybe she just decided that, because it's messy, you can see all the mess that it makes, but I don't know. So I told my son, maybe she cut it down because she's just tired of the mess of it over on her side. So we left it at that. Well, this morning, Robert, we're saying good morning to each other this morning, and he came out earlier before I even woke up to feed our rabbits, and then he went ahead and poked his head over the fence, and lo and behold, none of it is cut on her side. So she just only was mindful or intentional of cutting the branches of the bougainvillea just over the fence top. So it was just my side that she cut. So yeah, so I'm just gonna be, I was kind of hurt because I thought, I thought Gabby liked me a little bit more than that. And I'm kind of thinking she just did this just to be mean-spirited. And that just makes me feel kind of sad, you know? Anyways, the lesson that I learned is, and I've known this before, but I forget, but then life reminds me again. It's really not good to get attached to anything. You know how in the Bible it says we're supposed to be in the world but not of the world. So sometimes I feel like it just it's not good to get attached to anything, people or things, because we lose things, you know, we lose people and we lose things in our life. And yeah, so anyways, so it might be kind of weird between me and Gabby now. I'm not even sure what I'll say to her when I see her. I'm kind of thinking I'm just not gonna say anything at all and just keep it to myself, what I think about, you know, her doing this and why I think that she did it. And that's it. So, all right, you guys, just thought I would share that little story. I think I made my neighbor angry because she cut the bougainvillea on my side. All right, you guys. See you in the next video. Bye. Oh, don't forget, let's go to the White House with Bobby. All right, bye.